Joe, you were asking about those transmitters, and they came from the American Air Force bases in Newfoundland when they closed down, I guess, in the late 50s, early 60s. They're all tube type, very well built, probably weighed 1,000 pounds or more. And they had written them off, and they had written this thing off in Newfoundland, this transmitter. Was, I guess they probably had hundreds of them. They could talk anywhere over North America on these things. They used Rumbeck antennas from the bases. It was before the airplanes could fly, right across the ocean without refueling. Newfoundland had, I think, 6 or 8 American Air Force bases there, and everything stopped there and refueled. And this transmitter was written off, and it wasn't supposed to be, so they came looking for it. But anyway, never got it out of the basement till he passed away. But anyway, he said, I'm the only one that's got one. What I see now, if you go under the surplus and look for them, they're an FRT 555 converted to, I think they say they're rated at 2,500 watts output. The original ones, I think, had a pair of 4-1000s in them, but these were used in the land-based stations there. So anyway, back to you, Mission Control, the E3 Sid Oliver.
Oh, very good. That story brought back something a friend of mine growing up. His dad worked in the U.S. military on one of the bases in Newfoundland, and that's where he met his mom. His mom was a local gal, and I guess the troops would go into town on a Friday night to a dance, and their eyes met across the room, and the rest is history. He ended up, when he was done the military, he stayed here in Canada with her, and they eventually moved to Ontario. And yeah, it's neat to hear stories like that too. Very good. Let's see if Ryland's back. BE3DKW. Okay, nothing heard. Jackie, VA3BTQ, how about you? And just letting you know, I do have the live stream going again.
Led, I just called Jackie to find out what happened. And excuse me, what happened is the battery has gone so flat that when she puts it in the charger doesn't even recognise that the radio's in the charger. So I said to bring it over to me. What I'm going to do is I'll put a little switch on it so that she can activate it, and that way it'll actually put a voltage across the battery, bring it up, and then she can turn the switch off, and then it should just go to the automatic mode. Yeah, I'm going to have to modify it because it's exactly the same now as what happened about 2 weeks ago. Okay, thanks, Led. VA3RTB.
Okay, very good. Thanks for the update. Glad that's all it is, although that's not fun either. Maybe we can look at getting her another battery order too, possibly. It's interesting, though, that it would do that it would... Anyways, it's in good hands. It's in good, capable hands. And even once Jackie gives it to you, it'll still be in good hands. Hi. Let's see. Robert, VE3IRB. And what time does the museum open, and what are your operating hours?
Oh, the museum's always open. But I like going back to the discussion about field day. I like that, the fact that you're picking up on that and getting us like a good step-by-step idiot's guide to it. I've been at field days, but I've never actually operated, and I guess this is a way to force us to actually do it. If we can't go just see other people do it, we got to do it ourselves. Should be fun. Back to you.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm not saying oh my goodness to you, Bob. Yeah, it should be fun. John, did I miss you the first time around? BE3KZT. I thought I contacted you the first time around. It's your turn right now. I know that much. But did I miss you the first time?
just put my name on the trophy. Need all those on that, and that's good. And yeah, I need to get. I think I used this N3F JT now, but I don't know what version I got. And I need to know. I heard Bob say that you can actually utilize other logging that you have. I need to find out how to do that. So I need a lot of teaching here. Possible to teach some old dump how to do it. V3KZT.
Well, the good thing is with technology nowadays, it's very copacetic to this COVID-19 thing. You can be sitting at your home on your computer. I can be at home on my computer, and using a software that's reliable, it's secure. I can connect to your computer and help you set things up, etc. Unfortunately, my sisters know about this too. So every once in a while, I get a call from Alberta or from Tennessee saying, "Can you connect to me and fix my computer for me?" It's just called TeamViewer, but it's very secure, and it allows someone else to remote control your computer. I actually have it on some of the Raspberry Pis that I have up at the repeater site, so I can come in that way. So yeah, John, don't worry about getting set up. We'll help you get the software set up, no problem. And I'm sure if you have any radio issues, there'll be all sorts of guys that can give you a hand with that as well.
Thanking you. In my field, if it's acceptable, I have a solar system out here in the backyard. Maybe I could do that. I don't know if that gives you any extra points or not. The V3KZT.
Yes, I believe there is a classification for using alternate power, like generators, batteries, solar. So yes, that does, and it does give you multipliers. So that's very advantageous. Because, like, for instance, say the multiplier is a 2. Well, if you make 100 contacts, now instead of just 100 points, it's 200 points. So stuff like that. I'll have to check to see what it is for power multipliers, but there are things like that available. So that's excellent. Must be nice to have solar in the backyard. I'd like to have it, but there's the batteries are so expensive. I don't think I could afford that, and then having to replace them every few years. At least not right now. I'll give it a few more years to become more efficient. VA3 WBZ William.
V3 WBZ. Hey, Laird. Yeah, I've been very busy the last few days from working all that stuff, and I'm retired too, and I'm still working. Helping a friend of mine out doing some painting on baseboards and all that. 700 linear feet. They got to get painted 2, maybe 3 times. Boy, that keeps me going. Yeah, as I said before, I made a little comment about your hair. That was a little surprising. And I was all making some funeral arrangements for my mother who passed away back in February. So in 2 weeks, we're finally going to get her laid to rest with her grandmother, I guess. Just a graveside service, I guess, is what it's going to be. Just and with this COVID-19 thing, you can only have I think a maximum of 10 people down there, including the minister. So not going to be very many people down there. The flowers and rain we've had today, boy, it's ever good for the flowers, eh? The grass is going like crazy. I noticed the tree up front of me this morning. It didn't have much on leaves. By golly, it's sure got a lot of leaves onto it now. It's coming right up. I don't have anything else going report in on Laird, so I think I'll say 7 trees, go downstairs and get some dint in. Because I ate last night, and I think it's about time I ate now. Had a bagel and a coffee this morning, and that was it. So hopefully I'll be on the air tomorrow night, and I will pick it up then. And it does look different, Laird, without the hair on there. My goodness, that little shiny spot up there. We'll talk to you later on, Laird. Take care to you and all of us on that. VA3 WBZ. 7 trees, and I'm clear.
Yes, luckily the shiny spots are not bald spots. It's just the bright studio lights here in the shack. When I'm streaming online, cause that. Although I do need a bit more makeup, I'm a bit pale. But other than that, yeah, it's fun. And yeah, maybe it is starting to grow again. We have to get that trimmed before the weekend. Let's see. We're at the bottom of the list, and oh man, is it really 20 after 8 already? Where does time go? Anyways, I'll take one last call for check-ins. So if anybody wants to join in the COVID-19 rag chew, this is your last opportunity for this evening. We will be here again tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. So everyone's more than welcome to join us then. And this is Laird, VE3LKS. So if you're dying to come on, now's your opportunity.
Laird, my words are kind. My words are kind.
Oh, okay, very, very good, William. Well, don't worry. Give it another week or two, and they won't be. You'll be like the rest of us.
7-3, my friend. Take care, and it's a good thing you take a little bit of ribbing on this. It's good humor. Good night, buddy. Talk to you later on. E3WZ player.
Yes, well, with the guys that I hang around with here at the North Shore, if you don't have a sense of humor, you might as well pack it in, because no one is safe from anything. Anyways, it's always in good fun though. They always do it in good humor and nothing ever maliciously. Anyways, let's see. Where was I? Oh yeah, one last call for check-ins.
Yeah, VE3 Q&A here in Barrie. Wondering how I'm doing. Am I making it?
Yes, so I've got Victor Echo 3, Quebec Norway Alpha. Is that correct?
That's correct, and I'm up here in Barrie. I was just wondering how my signal was down to you.
Yes, you're coming here beautifully. Maybe just a very, very slight bit of hiss. But our repeater is just north of Oshawa. It's between Oshawa and Port Perry. No, it's a very nice signal. Are you up pretty high there in the Barrie area?
Yes, I'm on the top of the, more or less on the top of Bayfield Street here in Barrie. Northern part of Barrie, and my antenna is up about 40 feet. And the antenna's on top of that.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, well, you're coming in here beautifully. I'm not sure exactly how far that is as the crow flies, but yeah, you've got a beautiful signal coming in, and yes. Just out of curiosity, how much power did you say you're running?
Yeah, I'm running about 40 watts.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad at all. I know we have some stations that come in from Fenelon Falls on a regular basis, and it sounds like you'd be able to make it in here just about any time as well, because even with the rainy conditions that we're having here tonight, I know rain doesn't play a huge part in 2-meter activity, but it does play a bit. And I'm sure you could probably get into this repeater just about any time.
Oh, that's good to know. I know I did make it in one other time. I was talking to William, VA3 WBZ.
Oh, he was on just before you came in. He was a gentleman that I was chatting with. So very good. Yeah, my handle here is Laird. That's Lima Alpha India Romeo Delta, and my call sign is Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra. And just to let you know, we're running this rag chew every weeknight, so Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. And we've nicknamed it the COVID-19 rag chew. Yeah, it's just very informal. We usually get around two rounds in for each person. And we just pick a topic for the evening and have a discussion about it. Tonight we were talking about the changes to the field day rules for this year to take into account COVID-19. So you're more than welcome to join us any evening during the week, and we'd be glad to have you check in.
Oh, thank you, Laird, for your invitation. I was just on a net here in Aurelia. I'm involved in every night, so I can miss one of those, and maybe I can talk to William down there one of these nights. So anyway, I'm just pleased that I'm making it to Oshawa. Okay, and I know I don't have any trouble getting to the Muskoka net as well. So I guess I think that Muskoka net repeater is about 100 so kilometers from me.
Ah, very good. Yeah, I think is that the one in Gravenhurst?
It could be. Could be. I don't. I think it's
Right.
up around the Lake of Bays, or maybe even further north.
Okay, very good. And let's just see if William's still here. VA3WBZ. Are you still around, William? Nope, nothing heard. I know he was probably shutting it down, but very good. And yeah, well, from your location, you should have, especially with a bit of height and having a bit of a tower there and a bit of power, you should be able to hit quite a few good repeaters from there.
Yes, I'm up about almost I think it's 900 feet plus my antenna.
Nice, very nice. I'm going to have to chart that then later on tonight. I know on our club website there's an online piece of software that you can use, and basically it's like two little pins, and you just drag and drop them on a map that looks a lot like Google Maps, and it'll tell you the distance apart. And you put in the height of your tower and how much power, and or you don't have to put in how much power, just the height of your tower and the height of the other location tower, if you know that, and it'll show you geographically if there's anything in the way. But I'm going to guess that there's probably nothing in the way between us right now.
Yeah, I believe you're correct there. I'm on the same height, same level as the CTV tower is up on Signal Hill here in Barrie.
Oh, very good. And I imagine Barrie has an amateur radio club too, don't they?
Yes, we have a club here in Barrie. It's up to about 60 members right now.
Oh, very good. Excellent. That's really good. Glad to hear it's going well. And I'm imagining they have some sort of repeater system. So are they up on a pretty good hill there as well? I should try getting into their repeater sometime from here.
Yes, should do that. It's on I think it's 147.000, and that's 156
on the plus side, I believe.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I'll look that up and check that out. It'd be interesting to see if I can hit it because where I'm located in Oshawa, I'm on the east end, but I'm just as you come up sort of a big hill, and so I know between my house and the repeater, I usually don't have a problem. And I've got a tower. Now my tower is only about 24 feet, but it gives me lots of height, especially to the north. So. There may be some obstruction in the way, but I'm going to have to give that a go. I'll check it out with the software first and then try it anyways, because sometimes even though if there's something in the way, radio has this magic way of defying all odds and getting around it.
That it does, Laird. It does. And so I'll be listening for you. When you want to check in sometime, just let me know when you want to test it out, and away we go.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds like a good plan. I'll have to give that a shot probably within the next week or so. And with that being said, let me just see if there's... we're just finishing up the rag chew. Is there anybody that had any further comments or questions or need to ask our guest from Barrie?
VGJ.
Go ahead, Joe. Did you run the graph between us and Barrie?
Yes, Larry, that's what I wanted to mention here. I'm not sure where the other station is. Geez, I forgot, Dawn, was it? But it's pretty well line of sight. There's a little peak there at one point, but it's very good. Now I've got my icon on Sandy Hollow Buffer or something it's called. It looks like there's a high spot there. So back to you there, Larry.
Okay, I'll actually let Q&A answer that since he's no sense me being in the middle. I'll let him chat with you there to see what the locations were. And did you put the height in for our tower at the repeater site, Joe?
No, I didn't. I just did the ground level. That's what I'm just doing for now.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, usually when I do it, if I do put in the height, I put in I think 20 meters.
Okay, 20 it is.
Okay, Q&A. Did you want to get back to Joe there?
Okay, VE3 Q&A. Yes, Joe, what information would you, additional information would you need?
Just a major crossroad, approximately where the antenna is for your repeater. Like I'm looking at Ferndale Drive North here and Edgehill Drive. That's approximately where I've got the icon or the cursor now.
Well, you've got it pretty much pegged. It's approximately maybe 2.5 to 3 kilometers from my location.
Okay, from here with the graph that's drawn here, it's line of sight, believe it or not, with a little high spot. Hard to pick where the high spot is, but it's closer to our repeater. Probably about a fifth of the way from our repeater site to you. There's a high spot, but it's just crossing the top of it. Everything else is well below it. You're sitting at about 300 and change. What is it? What are we dealing here? Just a minute now. Stand by. Line of sight 75 kilometers, and the elevation where I've got you is about 249. I believe that would be meters, and ours is sitting at kilometers. And the elevation where I've got you is about 249. I believe that would be meters, and ours is sitting at 342.
Oh, very good. Very good to know that. I often wondered just what the range was on
from my location to the repeater up in Muskoka, but I don't have all the details I need to find that out.
Yeah, very good on that. Well, anyway, I'll pass you back to Laird there. It was kind of interesting, but it's surprising the different areas. And actually, I would have thought that land mass there would be higher, but it's surprising there's, like I say, about, a little bit lower. It's surprising. Back over to you there, Laird.
Okay, very good, Joe. Yes, Don. If you want to ever try out the online software, if you go to our club website, which is just ve3osh.com, go to the links page, and down at the bottom of the links section, there's a link to RF line of sight. And when you go there, it'll come up, it'll have the 2 pointers basically in, I think, Alberta or Saskatchewan somewhere. But you just drag each of them, one of them to your location and the other one to the location that you want to check, your transmission point to. And then just set the height of your tower and the height of the other tower, if you know it, or approximately. And then it'll tell you the distance, as well as it'll show you sort of on a little chart if there's any geographical obstructions in the way. It's really quite handy.
Oh, that would be great, Laird, but I can't use a computer because I can't see the screen. But anyway, I don't think my wife would be too interested in doing that. So I'm sort of stuck that way around.
Okay, very good. Well, I'll tell you what, since we know where your location is, check in again sometime, either tomorrow or next week in the evening. As I say, we're on Monday to Friday at 7 o'clock. And we can get someone to run the check between your place and the repeater. I don't know if it's way up in Dwight or whether there's other ones too. I know at one time there were several in the Muskokas. I have to double check to see what they have right now. But it's sort of a hook, This is like a sales job. We'll get you back into the showroom somehow. But come back in and we'll figure that out for you as to what it is to the repeater in the Muskokas.
Oh, thank you, Laird. That's very good, and I'll definitely do that. And I will, I guess I should say 73 to you, and have a great night. Now that it's cooler outside, and I'll be turning the air conditioning off. So I don't think we'll need it tonight. So, but anyway, wonderful talking to you, and I'll try and get back to you again soon. Hopefully tomorrow night. So, VE3 Q&A will be clear on your final.
Okay, very good, Don. Nice of you to drop in and visit with us tonight, and we hope you do it again soon. And as I say, we'll look up that information for you. And anybody else on the Rag Chew have any further comments, questions, or anything else before I pull the plug for the evening?
Yeah, thanks, Laird, for the evening. Very enjoyable. I just wondered if Bob, HIX, are you still listening, Bob? Just a quick thing I've got for you.